All right, ladies and gentlemen, how you guys doing? My name's Jeff McMahon. For the last 10 years, I've interrogated the watch addiction, the watch obsession, probably even the YouTube addiction. I think YouTube is an addiction. I think there's a lot of cosplay going on YouTube. I'm talking about myself. I'm not judging anyone but me. I think there's a certain vanity. I get to see myself on TV type of thing. So I look at what I could possibly offer you guys. Most of you guys have an intense interest in watches. About a month and a half ago, I read a short story called Exit Watch. I liked it. I ended up writing a book in the last couple weeks that wasn't about watches, but it created a style of writing that I'm using for a book I'm now working on, a novel about watches called Wristed Development. For those of you who remember back in the mid-2000s, there was a show called Arrested Development. So Wristed Development is a play on that. And I don't think YouTube is a great platform for reading directly to audiences. However, I'm not going to start over on a podcast, because by the time I accumulate enough listenership to make that worth my while, I'll probably have passed away. So the amount of subs I have here is actually a theme of the book, but it's better than nothing. So what I'll do is accommodating this social media environment we're in. I will read short chapters, and the reason why my chapters will be short is because I write short chapters, and I write short chapters because social media algorithms have sort of reshaped my brain that way. Also, it's lame for me to read anything longer than 5 to 7 minutes. Even that's long. I'd like to keep it 3 to 5 minutes. This first one, I'm combining 2 chapters. Muscle Squirrel is the very first chapter, and it goes into the performative misery of a middling YouTube channel. And so I think it's 7 minutes. It was a little longer than I wanted, but because there was no real watch content in the first chapter, I thought I'd read you 2 chapters. If you don't like this thing, let me know. I just won't do it. But I think that's probably the best angle of content I can give. Let's see what we got here. So this is the beginning of a novel called Wristed Development, about a 62-year-old guy, and his name is Jeff McMahon. It's me playing a version of me. How convenient. All right, here we go. By 7 a.m., after a kettlebell workout that left me soaked like a defrosting steak tossed onto a sizzling grill, I was swaggering around my kitchen as if I'd just conquered Everest. My breakfast was a beacon of self-righteous nutrition, straight out of a fitness influencer's playbook. Greek yogurt, whey protein powder, and berries. The kind of combo that practically shouts, "Look at me, I'm peak human potential, and here's the proof." Fueled by a cocktail of dopamine and vanity, I was ready to take on the world, or at least face the prospect of tackling an avalanche of emails and updating my course content for the fall semester of Prospect College. This marks my 30th lap around the academic hamster wheel, but I'm still somehow driven to deliver fresh takes on rhetorical devices, dig into pop culture fraudsters, and explore how Ozempic is disrupting everything from free will to the fashion industry. But just as I was gearing up to engage in this intellectual marathon, my plans got derailed by an unexpected and absurd backyard showdown. Enter Muscle Squirrel. Yes, you read that right. A rodent so jacked it looked like it had been sneaking in late-night reps at Gold's Gym. Picture a fuzzy little Schwarzenegger on steroids, flexing his miniature biceps as if the world needed to witness his rodent superiority. And who was the lucky target of the furry menace's wrath? My neighbor's perpetually anxious dachshund, Cookie. whose overreaction to anything with a pulse is legendary. The scene unfolding before me looked like the opening act of a pint-sized WWE SmackDown. Muscle Squirrel was dishing out taunts while Cookie responded with a kind of hysterical yapping that would only be described as canine histrionics. Just when I thought this backyard drama had peaked, Muscle Squirrel decided it was time to crank up the insanity. The little thug scrambled up a telephone pole, posed like he was ready to drop the hottest mixtape of the year, and stared straight at me as if daring me to intervene. Then, in a movie straight out of a Marvel audition tape, he launched himself into my lemon tree, grabbed a lemon, and hurled it with sniper-like precision at Cookie's head. The citrus missile connected, and Cookie let out a yelp so shrill it could have shattered a crystal chandelier. Cookie's owner, bless her frazzled heart, finally swooped in, dragging the poor dog back indoors, while muttering something about relocating to a squirrel-free suburb. As the dust settled, I thought I was finally in the clear. Back to business, right? Wrong. Because that's when Muscle Squirrel turned his unhinged, psychopathic gaze directly on me. The intensity of his stare could have made Hannibal Lecter break into a cold sweat. In that moment, I realized this wasn't just any squirrel. This was a pint-sized lunatic with an axe to grind, and he knew exactly where I slept. My morning momentum thoroughly derailed. I resigned myself to the inevitable, getting dressed and heading out to endure yet another flex day, a late August rite of passage for every college instructor with more tenure than patience. The thrill of navigating endless workshops and awkward icebreakers awaited me, but as I headed out, I couldn't shake the feeling that somehow Muscle Squirrel was plotting his next move. Chapter 2. Performative Misery on a Middling YouTube Channel. Getting dressed for Flex Day should have been a breeze. Dark wash jeans, a golf shirt, and those $200 extra-wide orange running shoes that scream comfort over dignity. They'd become my default uniform, a sartorial surrender to middle age. But the real ordeal of the morning? Picking a watch. You see, I own 6 dive watches, and every day, choosing one feels like a psychological thriller that would make Hitchcock proud. It's Sophie's choice for horology nerds. The moment I settle on one, I feel the others staring at me, chirping like baby birds, left unfed. Guilt floods my soul, a remorse so profound it makes Catholic confession look like a picnic. So naturally, I ended up doing the dreaded watch switch. 5 minutes in, I'm switching again. Then again. Now I'm almost late for work. Furiously yanking off a watch while grumbling like a man possessed. I finally grabbed one out of pure desperation, with all the joy and passion of choosing a cereal brand at Costco. Gone are the days when a watch would sing to me like a lover from a 70s soft rock ballad, Baby Come Back by Player, Reunited by Peaches and Herb. Now it's like an awkward silent treatment from a spouse who knows you forgot the anniversary. The whole process is such a monumental time suck that I've started fantasizing about owning just one watch. But who am I kidding? I'm too spineless to make such a radical move. So here I am, stuck in the daily existential crisis of picking a timepiece, secretly resenting the very collection I once adored. My watch addiction is real, a festering sore that I dissect for the world on my middling YouTube channel. I tell myself that discussing my obsession is therapeutic, a form of public service even. But let's be honest, I'm just wallowing in performative misery for the entertainment of other watch junkies. Sometimes I wonder if the best cure would be to kill my channel entirely and walk away from the madness. But alas, I settled on my Seiko Wamura after nearly triggering a nervous breakdown and bolted out the door, ready to take on the day that was sure to be as joyless as the process of picking that watch. So that was a little long, because I read you 2 chapters. I want to read actually shorter than that. I have it planned so that the readings would be about half that length. So forgive me if I went overboard, but I wanted to give you the taste. So let's see how this goes. Like I said, my dilemma is my YouTube platform is visible, starting all over from a podcast could be brutal. But let me know if you find this format okay for a reading experience, a new angle at the watch obsession and the watch madness and the crazy adventures. Then I'll continue doing it. If it's just I don't know. If it's just too much, then I'll have to seek a new hobby. Perhaps I'll take up various forms of carrot cake. I don't know. All right, ladies and gentlemen, tell me what you think. Until next time, I'm out.